call it a day. And then tomorrow we'll do more. So let me see if the live stream is here. Joseph, this is something you guys can start and launch out. Also, like you guys can do this regularly, where you can stream it live. Okay, hello everybody, welcome. We're back. We're live. We're doing different understanding the equations and inequalities, and Mr. Michael is going to show us how to tackle this. So, Mr. Michael, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Amos. Thank you. And for our viewers, you're welcome to the live stream. Today, we are just going to be talking about equations and inequality, and we'll kind of discuss the similarities and the differences, and thereafter, we'll go ahead and solve the problems on the screen. So for equations, the equations are basically mathematical statements with a equality symbol. Okay, so whenever you have mathematical statement with the equality symbol, we generally call them equations. So you can have different kinds of equations. I mean, like linear equations, quadratic equations, and even cubic equations, and so many of them, right? So, but when you have mathematical statement with the inequality signs, I mean, like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, so you want to call them inequality. And you're going to see the difference. I mean, they are so similar that you can even solve them applying the same principles, but there are some things that distinguish both of them. So I will just go ahead and start with the basic one today. And in our next live stream, we'll discuss in details the differences between equations and inequality. But let's start with equations. Now, the one we have here on the left side of the screen is called equations because it's a mathematical statement with the equality sign, like I said earlier. So how do we then solve this equation? Now, the first thing you want to do, you can see on the left-hand side, everybody in this direction is called the left-hand side, and everybody after the equality sign is right-hand side. The same applies for the inequality to the left-hand side and the right-hand side. I mean, it's just very easy to understand. So from here, you can see we have 2x plus 5 equal to 11, and it doesn't make sense to add 5 to 2x. In fact, you cannot do that. You can't do that. So you want to now combine like terms. In other words, you want to get rid of 5 from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. That's where you have the like term of 5, which is 11. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides in this equation. So when we do that, you see that plus 5 minus 5 is 0. So we have 2x left on the left-hand side. And now when you do 11 minus 5, what is 11 minus 5? For those of you who are watching live on YouTube or Facebook, what is 11 minus 5? You can put your answer on the comment section if you know what is 11 minus 5. All right, 11 minus 5 is just 6, so we just keep moving. Now, the next thing we want to do from this point, we still want to get the value of x. So we want to make x to be all by itself, right? So how do you do that? You want to now divide everybody by 2. You say divide both sides by 2. So that when you do that, you're going to get 2x divided by 2 in the left-hand side and 2 divided by 2. Now, one thing about equation, whatever you do in the left-hand side, you must do it in the right-hand side to make it balance. So now you see that these 2 can cancel out these 2, and you're left with x in the left-hand side, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So for this problem, the value of x that satisfies this given equation is 3. You can go ahead and plug in 3 in this equation, and you see what the result would be. So let's plug in 3. If you plug in 3 here, you have 2 times 3 because x is now 3. So you plug in 3, you have 2 times 3, which is 6, and 6 plus 5 is 11. So that solution is correct. Now let us move on to inequality and see how we can solve this problem. Like I said, most of the principles that work for equations is also very relevant and valid for inequality. So what we want to do here, we want to subtract 5 from both sides, so that we're going to get 2x on the left-hand side and we get 6 on the right-hand side. Now, the next thing you want to do, you want to divide everybody by 2 to make x be all by itself. When you do that, you'll be having x on the left-hand side and you have 3 on the right-hand side. Now, x is greater than 3. This is not a specific solution. Just like in this case, we have x is equal to 3. So in this case, x can never be any other number but 3. But this one, we say x is greater than 3. So all the value of this solution will be defined for all values of x that is greater than 3. Now, let's assume that x is an integer. I will explain this in our next live stream. This is just like an interlude. So if I say x is an integer, I mean whole numbers, okay? I mean just whole numbers. So what are the whole numbers that are greater than 3? So the possible value for x is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Because we are saying that x is an integer. So when you say x is greater than 3, what are the values that are greater than 3? The values that are greater than 3 are 4, 5, 6, and so on. That means it doesn't even have end. Okay? So that is inequality. The answers are always going to be in range of values. So the range of values for x that will satisfy this given inequality is from 4 to the positive infinity. So you can go ahead and plug in any of these values in this inequality. You see you get the result correctly. Let's plug in 4. So if you plug in 4, you have like 2 times 4 plus 5. Let us see if it will get greater than 11. Let us see if that will be greater than 11. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. And you see 13 is bigger than 11, which is true. If you plug in 5 like that and like that, you see all of these values of x, I mean, all these ranges of value for x will satisfy this given inequality. So this is just the difference. For equations, you get a specific answer, but for inequality, you get range of values that will satisfy that given problem. Okay, so that will be all for today. In our next live stream, we will go in details discussing the conditions that affect inequality. Because when you solve inequality, you want to be very careful. There's some conditions that affect inequality. Conditions like when you divide both sides by a negative number, the inequality has to flip. I mean, let me just quickly show you what I mean. For instance, if I have negative 2x is greater than 10, for instance, if I have to divide both sides by negative 2 to get the value of x, the inequality has to flip. Now I have negative 2x upon negative 2, then I have 10 upon negative 2. From greater than, it becomes less than. And now you have x is less than minus 5. You see, the inequality is flipping because we are dividing both sides by a negative number. Now I understand your question. You want to ask, why does inequality have to flip? That is what you want to ask. Why do we have to flip the inequality when we divide both sides by a negative number? And I think I have your answer. And I'll just answer that very, very quick and we'll run from this live stream. Now think of this number. If I have 1 and I have, let's say, 1,000, okay? Now, which number is bigger? You want to tell me that 1,000 is bigger than 1. In other words, 1 is less than 1,000. Is it true? Very true. Now, if we decide to multiply both sides by negative 1, that becomes, the left-hand side now becomes negative 1, and the right-hand side becomes negative 1,000. You see, we just multiply both sides by negative 1. So now I'm asking, is negative 1 still less than negative 1,000? The answer is no. Negative 1 is bigger than 1,000. So that means for the fact that we have to multiply both sides by a negative number, it's in turn affects the inequality, if that makes sense. You see, when we multiply both sides by negative 1, the inequality was affected. That is why we had to reverse the inequality anytime we divide both sides by a negative number. So dividing both sides by a negative number and multiplying both sides by a negative number are just the same in the real sense. So that will be all for today. If you have question, go ahead and put your question on the comment section. We would review them and we'll answer them in our next live stream. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your questions and your contributions on the comment section. We'll see you in the next live stream. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Michael. We're wrapping up the live stream for now, but this was just our attempt to call everyone to a message that we have. We have a message from our heart when it comes to the nature of mathematics, and we actually have a website for this called Math for All. Math for All is this website and project, and the idea for the Math for All is we want every child in every nation to have access to high quality math education. And so if you would like to learn how to do mathematics. I know some parents tell me sometimes, Amos, I'm afraid of maths, and your children, some parents actually say to me that my children, like when they come to me to ask math questions, I'm a little nervous, I'm afraid. This program we're doing, you can use it to learn mathematics yourself, and then you can actually use it with your children as well. And so what will end up happening is that you'll be able to help your children do a lot more mathematics. So mathematics is a beautiful subject. And I think that if we can get, the goal is how do we help as many people in the world to learn mathematics, right, at the pace of their mastery. So parents, no matter what your math story is or was, this is the time. Sorry about that. Yeah, so what we're going to start doing is we're going to start providing these explanations regularly. And so, parents, you can sit in with your children. We have other instructors, Mr. Chinonso, Mr. Michael, Mr. Joseph. We have different people that will be doing live streams. So I want to end with a quick message, especially to our friends all across, all across the world, but those who are especially in Africa and in America, South America, North America, and America. What we're going to do, and Europe, is we're going to do a global math summit. For 4 days, we're going to spend time every single day doing math problems, answering questions, welcoming you to see how we believe math could be taught to help a lot of people to master mathematics. So, Mr. Michael, thank you so much for this explanation. Inequalities and equations, there's a relationship. If I know how to work with these guys, I can learn to work with these guys and these guys. There's a relationship between the two of them. And so if you take the rules you've learned for equations, you can apply them to inequalities, and you can do a lot of you could do a lot with that. So I know Mr. Michael has to jump off the call. I actually have a couple of minutes, and so I might answer some questions if there's any questions in the chat. But let me do one more thing with this, because this is from chapter 3, which is inequalities. I'm just going to show us one more thing here. If you can leave we have the whiteboard. Thank you so much. So if you have an inequality, the only thing that is key is if you have a negative, you have to divide both sides by -2, for example. Then the x, look at this sign. The sign is going to change. It's going to become greater than or equal to -3. This is one of the differences between inequalities and equations. This is one of the differences in how it plays out. We need to know that the sign changes when we're dealing with the inequality, right? The sign changes when you divide by a negative. So this is one of the key differences, but otherwise, the way of thinking of mathematics, when you're dealing with equations, you're using a similar way of thinking as you're dealing with inequalities. So actually, Mr. Chinonso wants to join us at some point. We'll be here as well. Are there any questions to anybody in the chat? If anybody has any questions, thoughts, comments, objections, or if there's anything you want to add before you head out, Mr. Michael, you could do that. Otherwise, I'll stick around for a few more minutes, and now I'll head out. I just wanted to wrap up our call with people before we go. So when is our next live stream? Well, tomorrow, God willing, we'll be dropping some episodes. And the cool thing is that if you follow our live streams, you will actually learn all the mathematics from counting to calculus. So you start from basic mathematics, counting, and you walk all the way to calculus. So you just have to take it one step at a time. And so parents, we want to equip you and give you the tools as well. And then students, please keep focusing on being the best you can be in mathematics. Don't wait for your school to tell you what to do next. Don't wait for your country or your state. Keep learning mathematics. Of course, still do what you need to do for meeting all the standards in your school. But what I'm saying is go above and beyond. That's the way to go. Go above and beyond any standards in any country. So that's my advice to you. So what is the Global Summit? Let me answer. When is the Global Summit? When is it starting? The Global Summit is from the 24th of August to the 27th of August. So from the 24th of August to the 27th of August, 12 p.m. Eastern in America, 5 p.m. in Nigeria, 7 p.m. in Kenya, We're going to have guest speakers from Singapore, from America. We're going to be talking about how to flourish in STEM, in maths, in science, in technology. We're going to talk about programming. I'll probably have Mr. Joseph show us some strategies for programming. It's going to be a very enriching time. So put it down on your calendars from the 24th to the 27th of August. Live on YouTube, we'll be showing different things for students to learn. We'll be covering, so we're going to do mathematics, we're going to do innovation and entrepreneurship, we're going to do AI studies, we're going to do a lot of things. So you don't want to miss out on that opportunity. Okay, let's do one more example. So if Mr. Michael can help me clear the whiteboard, let me just do one more example and then we'll call it a day. I don't know if you can just hit a button and it will clear, or if I had to. Oh, perfect, thank you. Okay, so let me leave us with one more thing. Mr. Chinonso will be back also on the live stream with us in the next episode here of the live stream. But in our book that we're using, let me just talk about the structure of what the students will learn. So you will learn equations, you will learn graphing, you will learn inequalities, you will learn systems of equations, and you will learn, so systems of equations, you will learn polynomials. This is what we're covering over the next few live streams. You will learn factoring polynomials. Then we have rational expressions. We have radicals. We have quadratics. And we're going to finish up with functions. Now, technically, graphing and functions, basic linear functions, we're going to do a little bit of that there. So this is what you should expect to be seeing over the next few episodes. So is that you'll be seeing these different topics over the next few weeks. And it starts again with equations, which is Mr. Michael will be wrapping up that series with Mr. Chinonso. And then we're going to do some graphing and basic linear equations. And what we're going to try and do is over the next 10 weekdays, maybe sometimes on Saturdays too, you will see that we have live streams covering each one of these topics. These topics provide you with the foundation to become exceptional in mathematics beyond algebra. But what if somebody comes and says, Mr. Amos, I don't know how to do some of these topics. Like, where do I begin? Well, we need to talk about the fundamentals. So you need to understand how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And we actually already have that available to you. If you go to our website, learn.fullifeacademy.org /p/counting to calculus. If you go to this website, and if one of our team members can actually put that in the chat, so fulllifeacademy.org /p/counting to calculus. You can actually see this, and I'll give us the HTTPS. So you can just copy this, and if you go online, you can look at our videos, and we have the fundamentals. They're already there for you. They're ready to go. So you can learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. You can learn fractions, decimals, percents, ratios, and proportions. And guess what? Once you know how to do these pretty well, you can actually do these other ones pretty well as well. So what you want to do is work on the fundamentals and then go into the Algebra 1 and 2 class we have. So that's all we have for today for now for this live stream, but we'll be back again. So you want to stay informed. Actually, I have the website in the chat. You can actually access the link for what I just shared. So learn.fulllifeacademy.org /p/counting to calculus. Okay, so it's in there for you. You can click on it, enjoy the free videos we have. And if you want to get an assessment to know exactly where your math skills are, visit countingtocalculus.online. But feel free to subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with what we're doing. This is called Mathematics for Everyone, and we look forward to equipping every child and every parent in every nation to become one of the best they can be in mathematics. So let me end this by saying one more thing. There's a country in Africa called Kenya, right? My wife's best friend was from Kenya. And I find it, this moment in history is a very interesting time. And one of the countries in Africa that is actually setting the stage for some of the technological advancements coming is Kenya. What we want to do is this. For the people in Kenya, we understand that there's different pieces of AI that is being built out in Kenya. But there is no AI without mathematics. As a matter of fact, mathematics is the backbone of AI. So what that means is that in order for Kenya to leverage the opportunities before it, the mathematics education needs to be addressed. So please, if you're in Kenya, we're going to start doing trainings, AI trainings, math training. We're going to have Mr. Michael do the mathematics of machine learning with the people in Kenya. So if you're interested in the work that we're doing in Kenya, please visit our website, tinyurl.com/counting to calculus. Other people are welcome to join, but we're just letting you know that we are opening we're doing some projects in Kenya, and we're inviting you to join us if you are in Kenya. But no matter where you're logging in from the world, I do want to leave you with something very important. Mr. Michael is going to talk about this maybe on the next live stream. Mathematics is the backbone of AI. No mathematics, no AI. Therefore, we need people to understand mathematics at the highest levels. And even if you didn't like it when you were young, now is the time to come back and begin to do more mathematics. So I don't know if you have any questions for us, but otherwise, we're looking to work with people from all around the world to strengthen their math base. So please look at our website, learningforexcellence.com, and you will see our initiative called Mathematics for All, and that's where we'll give more information. So any other questions from my team before we go? Okay, and we're going to do an ACT and SAT live stream. So please make sure you subscribe. Parents, share this channel with your children. We look forward to seeing you all soon. Mr. Michael, did you have any final remarks for us before we go?
Yeah, thank you so much for watching to this very point in time. We are very certain that you learn a lot of things if you subscribe to this channel, because we'll be dropping good content for you that will help scale up your math education. So we want to see more of you on our live stream. Thank you very much for joining once again.
Okay, till next time, have a blessed night, everybody.
Yeah, bye.